my lovelies. Okay, so today's gonna be a really quick, short video. Hello. I'm just gonna do a quick check for understanding. So yes, you can take out your math notebooks for now. Hopefully you've looked at the slideshow. We're gonna do quick little bit notes. Again, I'm gonna do 4 quick examples. If you are understanding it already, you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna be great. This will be super quick for you. And if you're still having some difficulties, this is a perfect review for you. Okay, so fresh page, date, Sunday, March 29th. Title is our Just for a Check for Understanding. And our I can statement will be, I can review my knowledge on how to use the conversion ladder to convert between units. Okay, that is your I can statement today, which is usually our I can statement when we're doing check for understandings. Okay, please write that down, highlight that. I've just bubbled it. And then we can do some examples. I've already started the base of our ladder, so I've just drawn in the ladder. So you know how you've got your fill in the conversion ladder? This is my version of it. I've just drawn it in. Again, if you've got a printer, print it out and glue it here. Or somewhere at the top, somewhere at the bottom. If you don't, then do just what, like I did, okay? Draw a little ladder and we're gonna fill it in. And let's try to use our memory to see what we can remember. Now this is why I taught you that acronym, right? And that was part of the quiz. What is the acronym or that statement or that short little sentence? So hopefully you're saying it out loud with me. We've got King Henry died, and I'll put a little U in the corner, unexpectedly, drinking cold milk. Okay, now let's fill it in based on all the different metric units. So we've got kilometers, hectometers, we got decameter. U, and if you remember, this represents multiple units, but we're gonna just put meters, so M for meters, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. Hopefully you got that right. Now, this is the part where a lot of my kids, I'm not sure about Miss Rachel's or Mr. Matt, but my kids are getting confused about what happens if I'm going up and what happens when I'm going down. So when you are going, let's do it this way. If I'm going down the ladder, I'm drawing arrows so that might help you. If I'm going down the ladder, then I am going to be, I'll move it over here. I am going to be moving the decimal to the right. Okay, think of it like an L. This is like a perfect L. If I'm going down, I move it to the right. Now, if I'm doing the opposite, if I'm going up the ladder, then I'm going to the left. Okay, that's not a correct L. Think of it this way. The arrows might help you. Going down, I go to the right. When I go up, I go to the left. Okay, this is what I want you to fill in. And when I say I want you to do a fill in the conversion ladder, I want you to fill it in. So this you should have memorized. That worksheet is just for you to memorize and to get familiar with it. Okay, let's do some examples. Okay, so let's do example 1. And I'll write it a little bit larger. So 5 decimal, oh, can you see? 5 decimal 09 meters is equal to blank centimeters. Okay, I'll get my pencil so we can use the ladder and we can erase things. Now, remember all the steps. So my step 1 is to see where I am on the ladder right now. So right now I'm starting at meter. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little, where's meter in this unit? In the ladder. I'm right here. Okay, this is where I'm starting. I'm gonna put a little star, that's my starting point. Where do I want to end up? So think of it like a race, like I've said, this is my starting point. This is where I eventually want to end. How do I get there? So I want to end up in centimeter, right? This is my end spot, so I'll put a little dot. So how do I go there from meters? I make 1 scoopy, 2 scoopy. I made 2 scoopies to get from meters all the way down to centimeters. Okay, and I'll write that down maybe in pencil. So I went 2 scoopies. You don't have to, when you're doing you don't have to do this, but I'm just trying to show examples. 2 scoopies down, which means what? If I am going down the ladder, I have to move to the right. So that means 2 scoopies right. Right? So this is the important part. 2 scoopies that are moving to the right. Now, and I'm going to do it, maybe I'll do a different color. I'll do it in green. just so we can see what's happening. I've got 5.09. Okay, I need to move 2 scoopies to the right. So in this example, I already have a decimal point, so it's easy. So I'm going to put my, yes, I'll do red. I'm going to take my pencil and put it right on top of the decimal. Okay, this is your starting point. And what was the rule I need to follow? I need to move 2 scoopies to the right. So I'm going to go 1 scoopie and end up here, 2 scoopie. This is my new, this is my old, I forget that decimal, this is my new decimal point. So this becomes 509 decimal, and then we know that anything after that would just be 0, 0, 0. So you don't really even have to write this because we know there's nothing. So my answer, therefore, is 509. If you put decimal, that's also okay. You could put a decimal. I wouldn't mark that wrong. But then you should say decimal 0. That's how I went from meters to centimeter. There's 5.09 meters, there's 509 centimeters. Okay, which, please use your logic. A lot of you were giving me some crazy answers saying that 5 meters equals, I don't know, you were saying like 5,000 centimeters. It doesn't make sense, right? We know that in 5 meters, there's going to be about 500 centimeters, correct? Because we know 1 meter has 100 centimeters. So use your common sense as well. Okay, let's do another example. Let's do number 2. Sorry, you can't see that. Let's do number 2. Let's go from meter. So let's do 62,100. So that's 60, it's a comma, not a decimal point. 62,100 meter is equal to blank kilometer, okay? 62,100 meter is equal to how many kilometers? Maybe pause the video right now and try to do it on your own. And then we can do it together now. So look at where my starting point is. Okay, I'm starting at meter. Okay, so I'm going to draw that little star. And I want to end at kilometer. So I'm going to draw maybe my dot where I want to end, however you want to do it. So that means I went from here, 1, 2, 3. I went 3 scoopies up. So 3 scoopies up equals what? If I'm going up the ladder, I know the decimal has to move to the left. So I need to go 3 scoopies left. Right? Okay. So I know I needed to go from meter all the way to kilometer. So I went up the ladder. So I have to move to the left. Okay? So now let's do this. I'll write it down in green. So we've got 62,000, and I'll put the comma, 100. Okay? So now let's do it with the red. I am moving 3 scoopies to the left. So right now, where is my decimal? And hopefully, please don't say this because that's a comma. We know that we put that after every 3rd digit when we're saying numbers. So that's not my decimal. That's a comma. I could have done it without it, right? 62,100. So my decimal right now is where, grade 5s? Hopefully you're seeing it's invisible, right? Right now you can't see it. It's right here. When there's no decimal, like there was a decimal here. You knew exactly where the decimal was, right here, right? For this one, there's no decimal. That means it's invisible. And we know an invisible decimal is always on the right side of the ones. And this is we learned in our previous unit. Okay, so hopefully you remember that. So this is my decimal. Now I'm saying I'm moving to the left 3 scoopies. So that means 1, 2, 3. So that comma now becomes a decimal. And this is our old one. So we can, I'll cross this old one out. That means this has become 62.100. So therefore, my answer is 62,100 meters equal to 62.100 kilometer. Okay, let's do one more example. Hopefully this is getting a little bit easier. Sort of like, I don't know, I think of it like a game. like moving up the ladder, moving down the ladder. Okay, number 3, let's do, what haven't we done? Oh, let's do some millimeter. We haven't done millimeter. Okay, let's do 27. Let's do decimal. Yeah, let's do decimal. 27.68. And I'll put it like this because it just seems like a really odd number. Meter is equal to blank millimeter. Okay? So let's try that. So how many? 27.68 meter is equal to how many millimeters? Okay, step 1 is what? Looking at where I'm starting, where I'm ending. So I'm starting at meter. Okay, I'm over here. I want to end where? I want to end here. Okay, so I need to go 1, 2, 3 scoopies down. I want 3 scoopies down, which means what? If I am going down the ladder, I need to move to the right. So I need to do 3 scoopies right. Again, you don't have, when you're doing the work, you don't have to do all of this, but me seeing this work would be really good, right? This is just side notes. Okay, so I'm moving 3 scoopies to the right, okay, because I went down the ladder. I went from meters all the way down to millimeters. Okay, let's do this. Let me write it down just so we have it clear. 27.68. Yeah, 27.68. So this time, again, it's easy for me because the decimal is right there. So I'll put my decimal, my pencil or my pen, whatever you're using right there. I need to move 3 scoopies to the right. So I'm going this way. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and I've run out of numbers, but you just keep going. You just draw another scoopie. And that is your new decimal. You forget about this one. Now, in this situation, hopefully you remember, if you have, because this scoopie is filled with 6, this scoopie is filled with 8, this empty scoopie, it's really lonely. We don't want to leave it alone, right? It's really lonely. You add, what do we add to it if there's an empty scoopie? Hopefully you're saying 0. You add a 0. Okay, so we cross out the old decimal. This becomes my new decimal. And any scoopie that's empty, you fill it with 0. So therefore, it becomes 27.680. And we know we need to put, where do we put the comma? Because there's a lot of numbers. Hopefully you know you're seeing this after the 3rd digit from the right. So therefore, 27.68 meters is equal to 27,680 millimeters. Okay, hopefully this was just a quick checkup for you. Hopefully it makes more sense. Thumbs up, how do you feel? Hopefully fully thumbs up. If you're still having trouble, then please message me or message your teachers. But by now, it should be making more sense. If you've been reviewing, you should be just fine, okay? And now I want you to, following the slideshow, I want you to go do that extra worksheet. It should be in your week 2, day 1. It's a conversion review, okay? I will see you when I see you. Take care. Bye.